Here's another either or for you. Alrighty. Today, beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day. I have an amazing guest in the house today, and you guys will learn a lot. I believe you learn a lot, and it's going to be a bunch of beautiful conversations that are going to be had today, right? And before we get into anything, we need to talk about the sponsors of this show, right? It's very important we talk about them. Sponsoring this show is Connect Grills and Connect Global. They're into logistics. If you're trying to move a freight from one place to the next, you can contact my guy, my boy, DJ Lawal. You've seen him on this show. And if you haven't, you will see him so many more times. And also, if you're in Indy, you're looking for a backyard party for someone to bring your asun, your suya, oxtail, turkey, anything of such, asun, he's also your guy to connect. You can find his number there. And also, I have Cowrie Groups. If you are looking for a property in Indiana, that's your guy. You need to call my guy, Derek Haide. Give him a shout out, give him a call. He'll get you connected with any property you're looking for in Indiana. Also, I keep having them. It's just a bunch of them, man. I tell you, I'm connected with like the great guys. I have another awesome realtor that you can connect with if you're in Texas. It's Connor Fields Realty. Yeah, that's what it's called. Connor Fields Realty, right? In Dallas with my guy, Sonny Afolabi. You can hit him up. I have all the details here. And if you're looking for a career change, look no further. Whether you want in person, whether you want to go to Udemy, you can find him there. Await services, training for database administration. You can always contact them, or you can buy his course on Udemy, right? Even if you don't want to be in that class. Buy his course on Udemy. You can learn a lot, and you can learn a lot about database administration. That if you're looking for a new career path, I think that's a good one to go, because I'm also there too. So that's another one. So for the big sponsor of this show, Las Giddy Chapman, we give it up to them. If you want to get your own Chapman, Las Giddy Chapman, you can go on drinklasgiddy.com and get your Chapman for them. And this Either Or podcast is, as always, powered by Neilvest Investment. Like I said, I have an awesome person for you. It's no other person but the CEO. Remember I was talking about that career path, right? If you're looking for that career change, I have the CEO of Await Services here today. And his name is Adeniji. So I'll give it up to him so he can, toot his own horn. I mean, how they call it? You toot his own horn, right? So yeah, I'll let him have it.
All right. My name is Adewale Adeniji, just like he rightly said. My friends back in the day call me Too Short. Then my friends now call me Ade is a DBA.
Legacy.
And I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Legacy. You see, the name doesn't change based on how things they waka. You see, that's it. That's progress. When you have progress, things begin to change for you. So thank you very much for coming here today. So we'll be able to talk about this. Today, we will be talking about education and experience. But before I start, I have like a riddle for you, right?
Okay.
So let's see if you get it. I was in the car yesterday. Well, if I tell you how I found this riddle, you probably might get the answer. But tell me 3 vowels that are actually inside a child's lullaby, or a child's how they say sing-alongs and stuff like that.
Vowels?
Yeah, it's 3 vowels. It's in a song for kids.
The A or the R sound?
No. It's in a song. Like they say it in a song, in a kid's song.
The kid song.
Yeah. It's a rhyme in a kid's song.
The only kid
Just
song
think
that I know
about
is
it.
Baby Shark.
That's the most common one, though.
Baby Shark. Baby Shark and...
is
I can't guess anything right now.
Old MacDonald.
I would never have guessed that. Right?
E-I-E-I-O. Yeah. So E-I-O. I don't know if it's
okay.
but
E-I-O.
E-I-O.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I was in the car with my son last night, and I heard that. I was like, yeah, that's it. 3 consonants, right? I mean, 3 vowels. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a good one. But yeah, with that being said, that's out of the way. So we'll be talking about education. So give us a brief history of your journey with education, and then give us your either a proverb, idiom, or quote that you live by, something that is dear to you that you live by.
I will start with the second one or the last part. For me, I strongly believe that experience is the best teacher.
Okay.
Even though I would say I'm quite educated, but I still believe in experience more than education.
What kind of teaching are you trying to get from experience in the first place?
Because my education is not by choice. No, it's condition.
It's
that condition make a fish bend. So I started out. My primary school or elementary school, I started at this school, Kuti International School, Shagamu, KISS. And then from there, I went to...
I did not know you schooled in Shagamu.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I was actually in boarding school and I was pretty young.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was pretty young. Know. So from there...
I'm about to find out about that school. Because I'm from Shagamu too, so hey, that's a good one.
No, I think they shut down.
I still need to know about it.
I had to leave because they shut down.
They shut it? Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they were shut down, I think, by the government or something.
Oh, wow.
I had to leave.
Bad school.
Then I went to my hometown in Shaki. Yeah, so my primary school, I went to Baptist Hospital, primary school in my village, that's Shaki, Oyo State. After then, the secondary school of the same institution. And then I proceeded to Igbobi College, Yaba, Lagos.
I know that place.
I
heard stories about that.
That was where I did my senior secondary school.
I've heard stories about Igbobi, man. I haven't been there.
What did you hear?
Don't worry, I'll tell you later in private.
We are the first. We are the first of the best. The best of the first.
If you say so. Don't let FGGC boys hear you. I don't hear you, Sha.
So after secondary school, I went to jammed me a couple times. So I had to do PCE. And I went to Lagos State Polytechnic.
Okay.
I did chemical engineering first year. I didn't complete.
They do that at Lagos State Polytechnic?
Yeah, chemical engineering.
Yeah,
in the Ikorodu campus.
Wow.
So I didn't complete my OND. My dad didn't like poly. He didn't like poly. So he said I should. So from there, I now went to FUTA. I did pre-degree. And then after
shout out to
pre-degree...
FUTA.
Yep.
I'm from Ondo State, so shout out.
So after pre-degree, and I started under-level, graduated from FUTA. Mining engineering for 5 years. I did that for 5 years.
Yeah, bro.
After that, so you would reason with me why I said experience is the best teacher.
Okay.
So I spent 5 years doing mining engineering.
Okay.
After that, youth service, and I went to...
By the way, the boy finished the first class, bro. I just had to put that out there.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has broken my record yet in the department.
Wow.
So I graduated with 4.75 out of 5.
Wow.
So, and then I went to Saudi Arabia. I did my first master's in petroleum engineering. I did that for like 2 years. And then came to the US, did my second master's degree, mining engineering. And now I'm in IT.
Quite a journey.
I know. Yeah,
Quite a journey.
It's been a lot of education, but
yeah,
now I'm doing something different.
All right. Do you think at any point in time during this process, you could have changed your mind on the engineering, marine, petroleum piece? Or was it like you had a vision, you already knew ahead of time, and you had a vision of where you want to be? Or what was the circumstance around it?
Yeah, so like I said, now condition make crayfish bend. It wasn't planned.
Okay.
It just happened due to circumstances. So when if at the time I graduated from FUTA, if I had gotten a job, a good one, I probably would have. I wouldn't have decided to go to Saudi Arabia. So there's this policy in FUTA that when after you graduate, if you graduate with a first class, your department would hire you as a graduate assistant, and then you go through the master's degree free, and then they still pay you.
Okay.
And then you assist professors,
TA
But
job.
when it has always happened like that for the previous classes.
your
But
turn
when
changed.
when it was my turn,
Shout out to the Nigerian academic system.
they told me there was no budget or something. There was no budget to accommodate me, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was when I started pursuing.
I know.
That was when I started pursuing,
Isn't it crazy?
education outside of. I knew Nigeria wasn't for me, so outside of Nigeria.
But then they wonder why we leave. I'm sorry. Shout out to Nigeria though, but
Nigeria did me dirty. They did me dirty. That was even my school. During NYC, there's this common project management.
You served too?
Yeah, I served. I served.
Where did you serve?
I served. It's funny. But I'll say it anyways. So, mining engineering graduate serving in the bank. Yeah, I served in the bank.
That is awesome.
I served at UBA in Warri, Delta State.
Wow.
So,
But you were where you could actually use your talent.
Right.
You were in Delta State. I know.
I know. I actually wanted to serve at the Warri refinery, but I didn't get the opportunity to do that. But during the NYC, I did this project management professional course. It's a common thing they do for corporates in Nigeria. So I came top, the first in the whole of Nigeria.
Wow.
For that year.
Wow.
So during the induction, they gave me an award. They promised me, by coming top, we would link you to an oil company.
Cap.
In Benin.
Cap.
Till today.
Cap.
Nothing. So that, and then going back to school after NYC, my HOD told me there's no accommodation for you given the budget. I'm like, okay, this is not for me. So I went to Saudi. After I graduated from Saudi, I was supposed to.
How was your experience schooling in Saudi? Was it tough
compared to Nigeria? I would say out of all the schools that I went to, like tertiary institutions, Saudi is the best.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, their curriculum is very rich. It's very rich. Like I had the toughest time in Saudi, and I learned the most.
Nice.
I learned the most, and I had the toughest time. Their curriculum is very rich. They're very disciplined. Maybe it's because of where I was coming from. In Nigeria now, you probably won't even study from the beginning of the semester. Maybe a few weeks to exam.
Yeah,
besides study, but you can't do that.
Yeah, I tell people that Nigeria is read and dump. There's no knowledge gained. I'm sorry, for me, I didn't get anything knowledge in school in Nigeria. It's more of passing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
While
coming here, the schooling system here incorporated you into it from even coming to class. How you participate, your attendance, your participation, your presentation, all of that, came together to create your being. So you would be motivated to actually read. Versus Nigeria, that is tear a sheet of paper. Let's go. Did you buy my course? If you did not buy my handouts, please get out. That's not education.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. You switched from oil industry to IT. Did I get that right?
I made a couple of switches from solid minerals, which is mining engineering, to petroleum engineering, which is fossil fuel fuel, and then to IT.
Why the switch?
Fulfillment, money.
Bread.
Yeah, fulfillment and money.
I mean, the common knowledge is that oil industry.
I was getting to that. So the reason why I didn't end up, in the oil industry was because, so when I was in Saudi, I did an internship with Schlumberger J, and given the history, if you do an internship with a company after you graduate, they're gonna roll you over to full time. So, but the year that I graduated was when they had this oil crisis, and then they froze recruitment. Recruitment was frozen. So I was going to start, I started PhD. and I dropped that.
I was gonna ask you about. We're gonna come back to that. I was gonna ask you about that.
See,
I know.
that is supposed to be in front of you.
I know.
Ayo.
This is my thinking.
Yes,
This is my thinking.
Sorry.
So this is my thinking is you've done all that. Well, I was gonna get to this later, but you don't have to answer this now. It's like, would you be interested in going back for a PhD?
No, I don't see myself as a researcher.
Okay.
For you to go through the PhD, this thing, you have to have that research mindset. I never had that. I still don't.
Okay.
Yeah, that
So
condition.
you're not a typical Nigerian.
That condition. No.
Okay, I'll take this question a step further.
Yeah, okay.
Would you switch back to the oil industry?
Why would I?
I'm
No.
asking you.
Bro is
No, I
making
wouldn't.
bank. Bro is making bank doing what he's doing.
I
man.
wouldn't. Because in the oil industry, I don't know, maybe now there's no flexibility that I enjoy now. In the IT as there's no the flexibility I enjoy in the IT industry, I don't think it exists
Got it.
in the oil industry. Yeah,
When
so
you say flexibility in terms of
Working from home,
remotely,
working
yeah.
remotely,
Okay.
yeah.
Having your time to yourself.
So
and all that
exactly,
good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it. So oil
And
industry,
you might make the same amount of money.
exactly.
And
so
then-
why would I?
Flexibility
Yeah,
Yeah,
at this point
you
in
Yeah.
lose.
life.
You lose
Yeah,
all that.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah,
That's interesting. That's a whole lot. So now when we talk about educational experience, if you were to do this again, do you think some of the time you spent in school was a waste? And do you think you would have done it differently? So give you an example, just the same way you said you went from, marine engineering, petroleum engineering, under studies. I also did biochemistry and now I'm in IT, right? I feel like the 4 years I spent in Babcock University it didn't amount to anything. At some point when maybe I went to biochemistry because I wanted to go to become a medical doctor, then life changed, right? I read books and books were telling me that, guy, if you're after money, medicine is not the way to go. If you're after passion for healing people, then medicine is the way to go. Then I told myself, nah, I'm not interested. I want to make money. Then business became my thing. So, I've worked with my dad my whole life. He's a businessman. So business has always been my thing and still to date is my thing, right? Anybody around me knows I love business. So then in the middle, I was meant to switch. I switched again. I was no longer interested in biochemistry, right? So I wanted to start doing something else. Where when I finished, I did my MBA, right? Just going back to business. But now I'm still not even doing business like that. I'm doing IT. So my point is, do you think that 4 years or that whatever amount of time was a waste, or do you think any part of it was? And if you were to do it different, how you do it?
I would say I wouldn't say it's a waste, but completely or in totality, but it's partially a waste. So if I had been in IT those times that I spent, those years rather, I would have been better than I am right now.
Farther in
in
your growth.
Yeah.
path.
Although those years too of what I learned from school in mining and they have helped to develop my brain cells. That way, when I switched or during the process of switching, it helped me to quickly grasp most of the things. But if I had started the IT switch then, by now, oof.
You'd have been way further.
Yeah.
One of my friends, shout out to Dijilawa, he said school institutions, not necessarily school, 4-year institution is a scam. What's your thought process on that? He feels, and to be honest, I think I support it to an extent, right? Except you're a medical doctor, you're a lawyer, I'll explain my example to you. You're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, petroleum engineer, things like that. But check it out. You go to school for accounting. You become a CPA, right? You get a job fresh out of college. You get a job. You spend 4 years, right? Fresh out of job. Your average salary is 56 to 60 grand. You do the same. You go to Udemy, Coursera. You study Python. Coursera, not Coursera. Thank you. But you then go. You take a Python certification, and you apply a job after the certification. You get a 6-digit job. So that certification might take you anywhere from 6 to 12 months, right? And you get a 6-digit job, 6-figure job versus you go through 4 years of accounting and then come out getting a 50, 60, 60,000 job. So won't you say that, bro, if it's not if it's not like a specific skill, why just not take a certification and you make it instead of spending 4 years in uni?
Yeah, I understand, but I think it also depends on where you are, where you're coming from.
Okay.
In a country like America, you probably you don't need to, after high school, you can just start learning Python or learning out of those skills, and you will see companies that will hire you. But back home, you need to have at least, at the very minimum, you need a bachelor's degree. No matter how good you are. Not many people get jobs in Nigeria based on merit. Mm-hmm. Or how good you are, how talented you are.
People you know.
It has to be through people you know, and then it has to be through your academic history.
Yeah.
Even if you graduated with 2 at least have the bachelor's first. Mm-hmm. So they don't really consider being special or extraordinary a thing, except you have that academical history or prowess or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So, but I would say that for someone who has not gone through the 4 years and then just go into Udemy or Coursera, you might also find it a little bit challenging to learn the Python compared to someone
that actually,
yeah. So because those years, those 4 years of memorizing,
the prerequisites to it
of
too.
memorizing, what is it called now? Those biochemistry, those
atoms,
molecular formula, those drawing, all those things.
Yeah.
They've helped develop your brain.
Yeah.
So by the time you are now, using those brain cells to learn Python, you will grab them better or faster than someone who did not.
Yeah, simplicity too, because sometimes when you start from the roots rather than trying to start from the top, it might be easier to grasp, right? Teaching a child ABC versus teaching a child words. It's letters. They start with letters before they form words, right? But then you tell a child to jump straight to words. It might be very difficult, right? So maybe I see your point there. But then, sometimes at 18, a child or a person does not fully know what they really want. I'm having to talk to kids now that at 18, they're off to college here, and they're like, well, I don't know what I really want right now. So then they spend those 4 years not really going through that college and not really yet grasping, but they've been told that they need to go to college right after school
to be successful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in that situation, what is it okay, or what should they do?
I think that comes to the job of a parent. As a parent, you need to start observing your kids and see or discover their areas of strength, where they are good at. And if I had that opportunity, maybe I probably wouldn't even.
No, we didn't have that opportunity. Our parents look away.
That's just their own. Like if you don't go to school, you can't make it in life.
That's it.
They don't want to know if you have some other talents.
I was listening. Funny enough, I'll give you an example of my life story. I don't play sports. I play a little bit. I'm not good, but I dabble. But because my parents never let me play sports or watch sports, they will always tell you, go and read your book. My dad would rather you hold a dictionary and be learning words than you hold a gamepad or go outside and play soccer. Right? And then, but now, people are like, my son, I'm training him out to play basketball now.
Yeah,
He's just 2. Trying to develop his other skills, because beyond education, there's so many things out there that, their generation did not know about. All they knew was school.
Yeah.
What is education?
What is education? Wait. Funny enough.
Who tells you it has to be at the school?
But
Yeah.
Education can be what you're doing already, teaching them basketball. Education,
love that insight,
is what you learn from the day you're born to the day you die.
That is why my friend said institution was a scam, not education itself. He said institution was a scam, and that's why they say knowledge is power. I question that idiom, knowledge is power. I don't want to call it a proverb, it's a statement or a quote. Knowledge is power, right? So is knowledge really power? Is power power?
Knowledge is power.
But people without knowledge still have power.
You have to know how to utilize it. That's where the knowledge comes.
That's where
Some
the
people were
wisdom
born in
comes.
power, though.
Right? You can be powerful and not knowledgeable.
Yeah, but you're still powerful.
Yeah.
Doesn't power overthrow knowledge
You can lose the power.
if you're not
If
knowledgeable
you-
enough?
yeah. If you don't know how to use it,
If
if you
you're
use
not
it wrongly, you can
knowledgeable
lose
enough,
it.
use it.
Yeah.
You can't misuse
You
it.
can misuse it and then lose it.
Man, I just believe you're right. One thing I believe is education is a means or a way of getting information, right? In any aspect of life. You can be educated on eating, drinking, educated on anything really. But that's different from institution, which is the house of that where that kind of information, knowledge can be given. Right?
That is formal education.
That's formal, yeah, right. But like you said, even on the streets, there's education there. Even when we just go back and forth, there's education there. So I think I agree. But then at the end of the day, going back to experience, does experience trump education?
To me, experience itself is a form of education, but it's not the formal education. So, but you know, what I mean, for the formal education, you go to school, you have teachers or professors, teaching you. But when it comes to experience, your successes and your failures are your teacher. That's what you learn from, right? So it's also an education itself, but it's not a formal education.
But do you now beat down a child? I know I keep going back and forth. Do you beat down a child because a child fails at education?
So the benefit of
Because when we're growing up, if you fail, it's a problem. When you go back home, your parents want to scold you, blah blah blah. They call you, maybe you have a good parent. I did not all, but we know where I come from. They call you a failure. They call you names because you fail, and they'll compare you to other kids and whatever. Then that belittles your confidence in whatever you're doing. So would you say that we then, as we're growing up, experience made us better, failure made us better, or failure was not even a thing for us?
Yeah, of course, failure was not enough. I think the reason why parents do that is because for a parent to send a kid to school and pay, tuition and all that, they want to get the biggest bang for their buck. So you're not giving them that, and the purpose is for you to succeed. So if you fail, that means they think the money is a waste. So they pass.
But failure is part of.
They pass
failure
their
is part of
frustration.
experience.
Yeah, they pass their frustration to you. But failure is also, a way to learn too. At least you learned how not to do it.
I heard you can't succeed until you fail.
Right.
That's true.
I mean, going back to what you said earlier, 4 years in Nigeria was a total mess. I'm not taking your experience away, but don't you think it helped you when you transitioned here?
It paved way.
Yeah.
So would you want to reconsider? I'm not, again, downing your experience. Would
But-
you want to reconsider what you said?
No.
Okay.
Really. So let me explain why. Whether it was that education or not, you could, maybe not. Even people that have higher education still are not making it for
Of
that.
course.
Right. So I had an uncle, he didn't go to school. He owned the biggest truck company
All right, let me
in
stop
my
you
city
right
at
there.
that time.
What is the percentage of that?
What is the percentage of people that went to school and are successful too?
Right.
It's low too.
That's what I'm saying. So, the point is this: you don't know.
Well, you don't know. Okay, yeah. But that's the either or in the whole thing, right? So which way is it? But it's either or. You never know. You can only do the one you can't do, right?
The education system in Nigeria is so backwards. There's something called trade school here. You don't have to go to a 4-year college.
Love it.
can
Do you know?
easily go-
But that's
the mechanics on the streets. If you when you sit down and look at what they have and how they're using it to their advantage, can you imagine if you expose somebody like that and just say, "Listen, these are the tools you need," and you don't have to go to school.
But think
This is
about
what
it.
you go there.
For us growing up, if you had to go to a trade school, you're a failure.
Yeah, technical.
That was the mindset they gave us growing up.
That's the knowledge. back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm
our
saying.
job
No, I
now
mean we're
to
changing
change
it. We're
that
changing it.
thing
I
that
agree.
they
We're
did.
changing it.
Yeah.
But back then, growing up, that was it.
That's true.
Kí ló ṣe? Oh no, it's fine. It was,
Because every parent wants their kids to do this white collar
Yeah.
job, you
But not
know.
everybody is caught up for that.
Yeah,
yeah, Not everybody.
So that comes to
no matter
individual
what.
thing now.
That's it. Hey, parents or our generation, listen to me. No matter what you know as a person, how high you are, your kids are not the same as you. No kids are alike. You can come from the same home. One is as smart as anything, and the other one might not be as smart.
Yeah.
But don't expect them to toe the same route just because you did it. You're a professor doesn't mean your kids have to be professors. You're a medical doctor doesn't mean your kids have to
How
be
much do
medical doctors.
professors even make?
And I think
How much do they even make?
Wait, and you made a key point. You said you have to study your kids and know your
Yeah.
kids. That's the job of the
Yeah.
parents. Come on, me
So
back.
footballer Lile.
Yeah.
Project Mbappe.
Let's give him everything. Let's give him everything he needs to succeed on that line. You know, I guess I hope our own generation really sees that and take the opportunity or take that and build our own kids so they can be better than us. Because everybody right now is looking for generational wealth. So we start by that. Which, even if you don't have, make sure you study your kids, as he said, and train them to whatever talent you think they have or capacity you know that they can be at. Train them to that, you know, and let everything take form from there.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna be wrapping this up. But today, at least one of the things you've heard is even if it's experience, you still need education to gain that experience, right? And also the things that build experience are the activities or the knowledges you've built over time, your successes, your failures, your journey as a whole, which none of it is a waste if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, right? One of the things you understand today is even if you did, I know I was on the other side, but even if you did a certification, when it's time to get a promotion, a job, or when it's time to be considered for something, if you have the same talent as someone that has a master's or BSc, guess what? They'll pick that person over you because the person has an advanced degree.
Minimum requirements.
Exactly. You know, the person is more advanced. They see the person taking the company to another level. Some companies you go to, for you to become a director or a VP, you have to have a master's degree or higher, you know. So those are the things that at the end of the day, they add to the value of what you bring to the table.
Definitely.
It's okay if at 18 you don't know what you want to do, but I think once you figure it out, it's best to go back to the drawing board and then rebuild yourself
Start
from there.
pursuing that passion. Yeah.
It's never late. They know the catch late come out. You know, like they always say, it's never late. You can never go wrong, you know, as long as you put your best foot forward, right? And it's okay to fail. Just strive. As long as you get back up and strive to do it again, you do it over again. So what last words? I've said mine, but I'll let you give your last words to, you know, the younger generation coming up and feeling the pressure from parents or feeling the pressure of going to college when they don't know what they want to do or feeling the pressure of society trying to shape them into something they're not. You know, what would you tell them when it comes to education and experience?
Discover yourself, identify what you're passionate about, and then follow that path. Because formal education is generic. You know, when we went to school, we took a lot of classes, you know. But experience is specific.
Oh,
So-
they should be taking all those useless courses away from our
Experience is
curriculum,
very
please.
specific to a certain, field or problem or project that you're trying to solve. For example, back in the day when we were doing this algebra, and all this math, find
DX,
x, find
DX,
y,
DY.
dx, dy, calculus, and all those things. Yeah,
Right?
X and Y, they are generic. But experience in my field, my X and Y is different from your X and Y.
Yeah.
Yours is different from his. You know?
Yeah.
So experience is very specific. So follow your passion, but you have to identify your passion first. What are you passionate about? Then follow it. Everything that will make you successful in that field or what you're passionate about, start building on that. Imagine if I had been learning how to code since
From a
I
young
was
age.
when my brain was still, I had no bills to pay, but
Yeah.
now I have to think of bills, think of keys, think of
It's
so
harder.
so if you start early, good for you. But if you haven't started, it's not too late.
Yeah.
Like I said, please start now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you will get it right. Trust me.
Thank you so much, Ade. And in the background, in case you're hearing that voice, that is a wonderful person that joined in the middle. We might not show his face, but he's one man that I've known for years, and he has so much, but he has so much wisdom. Whenever I talk with him, there's always a lot to gain. His name is Fuad Akpatira, just so you know. His name is Fuad Akpatira. So thank you for your inputs. Thank you for the knowledge you also dropped in the middle. We really appreciate it. And my guy, my brother, man, is running things behind the screens, trying to make sure that this production is okay. Thank you so much. He's the CEO too. He's just helping your boy, All my guys are big. I'm just a humble servant, just trying to make it happen. So thank you guys for, coming to this session. I appreciate it. And like always, Omiti. Thank you, y'all.